We're going to put that in our calendar.
You know, I thought I set this meeting up to automatically start recording. Okay, so for the benefit of the people that missed the beginning of this recording, we're now 25 minutes into the session. And Amy, feed my ego, please. Would you just ask again the question and then say what you said?
Fred, are you recording? Because you've been brilliant this morning.
Have I told you you're my favorite? Well, all I can tell you is that, you know, once again, I just proved I am not that good. So motivation has to come from internal, all right? Inspiration we can provide through our story. If there's any reason to go out there and kick this thing as hard as you can and make it happen, it's so that you can be an inspiration to others, okay? Fred, are you recording? Should I be able to connect? Should I be able to connect from Mexico? Sure you should. To this Zoom meeting, Danielle? Oh, and Steve Parker tried to tell me that 5 minutes in. Okay, you should do like Amy. Because I am looking at you guys, you know, you can get my attention. Kudos, Steve. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so, but self-motivation has to come from the individual. And then the last one is self-functioning. See, these are stages of development. Nobody had, David Moses, do you think in the beginning, when I signed up, that David Moses called me in the morning and said, Fred, you got your DMO together? How many people are you going to talk to? Is there anybody I can follow up on? No. No. David, well, on the one hand, David knew who I was, so he knew he didn't have to. But again, why would you, I guess the best way to put it, and it's a conversation I had with one of my long-term leaders here just this past week. Over the last few years, we've had, you know, adjustments in the company. And when you have, you know, when the numbers are small, okay, you have a few distributors, you tend to want to nourish them, okay? It's like the farmer. I've only got a small number of you know, crops. You tend to spend all your time nourishing them and nurturing them because you got to have something. Now, the problem with that is we operate from a position of weakness when we do that. We create dependency in others. And I'm guilty of that as well, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to tell you I'm perfect, all right? Just got to be good enough. Now, self-functioning, that's that fourth self. That comes from the development through self-responsibility, self-determination, self-motivation, to self-functioning. You with me on this? See, nobody has to tell me that I didn't quit last night until I'd done everything that was on my to-do list. And trust me, I really didn't want to do it. But I've got responsibilities. I got responsibilities here at home. I got responsibility to my Zedra distributors. I got responsibility to you guys to put together, to put it on paper, what was in my mind to share with you today. Okay, I did not stop until I was done with my, you know, list to do. And this morning, now, I'll tell you, I set the alarm for 5:30 because there were a lot of things I needed to get done. I woke up at 4:30 and got up. Okay, I was actually hoping it was close to 5:30 so I could go, oh, wow, I got 5 hours sleep. I got up. Now, I could have gone back to bed, but I had things to do. Okay, and I'm not bragging on how little sleep I'm getting. I mean, I don't actually encourage that. You need to have balance. I did a little thing on balance, a little 3-minute clip from the beach on balance a while, you know, actually probably about a year ago because it's been raining so much. And so I'm a firm believer in balance. But sometimes to take advantage of the timing, sometimes you got to be a little bit out of balance for a while, right? And so these four selves is something I dug out of my old journals. It just seemed like the right timing to share it with each one of you. Okay, you can. I'm not going to say you will. Okay, because I understand people. Not everybody will. But the fact of the matter is, you're already. The fact that you've been here, we're starting to see some consistency of who's always on, right? Who's on time, who's always on, who's taking notes. I started with a larger number of people than I actually wanted to, because I know what I would like to do, but consistency. We use Zoom conferences at work. Fred is nailing it with Zoom. Oh, wow. I'll have to read that a little later. Thank you, Kathy. You're already well along the process. It's the 80-20 rule. Only 20% of the people are going to be 20%ers. The fact that you're already here, you've been here this long, you've already, stepped up. You're already defining who you are. This information that I'm sharing with you, if you notice, an awful lot of it is not where do you go, what do you say, who do you talk to. Have you noticed that? Because none of that makes any difference. Okay, anything you do is going to work. The difference between somebody that makes $100 a week and $1,000 a week is what they do. The difference between somebody who makes $1,000 a week, $50,000 a year, and $1,000 a day, which, by the way, you only have to make I think last year was $368,000 is all you had to make to be in the top 1%, and you can be a 1%er. Okay, some, in California, Brian and Kate, we know it takes more than that. I think that you're about 425,000. And then in Mississippi, you can get in the top 1% of earners in Mississippi. Probably about, what was it? It was like 3 1/4 or something like that. But median number, top 1% of income earners, $368,000 a year. To go from $100 a week to $1,000 a week, you just have to do more of this. Share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. To go from $1,000 a week to $1,000 a day has nothing to do with activity. It has to do with what you become, who you become. And that's really what I'm trying to share with you. Okay? So, what else do I got here? Oh, last comment I wrote down here. And this is really maybe comes in line with what I was saying about Tommy Chapa being the real deal. Okay? When my son was growing up, I had everybody, including his mother and his grandmother, telling me that the boy was a problem. He wasn't going to make it. There was nobody telling me anything positive about him. When I looked at my child, all I could see was a beautiful child that could do anything. Okay, that's all I saw. And because of that, that's what was manifested in my child, because I chose to be the greatest influence in his life. Now, when I bring a new distributor on board, whatever they tell me they would like to accomplish, I believe. And they can tell. Okay? Sometimes we're the reason that people succeed, not because of who we are, what we do, what we teach, being special, how good looking we are, whatever, but because we believe. Sometimes people need us to believe in them until they can believe in themselves. That's what I call the real deal. That's what I saw in Tommy Chapa. Okay? Now, we have to understand everybody has excelled at something in their life. Everybody. Okay? Maybe it was, winning the Stockton County, the San Joaquin County Fair hot dog eating contest. I don't care what it is. everybody has excelled at something in their life. And if they can excel at one thing, they can excel at another. It is only dependent upon the development of the 4 selves. Okay? Has this been helpful, folks? Because I took a lot of your time away from you today. All right, very good.
Very helpful. Worth it.
All right, very good. We need to be focusing. We are now starting cycle 1 of period 112, but it is the second period of our 3 periods together. Our focus now, and we're going to start changing some of what we're doing here on Thursday. If you've noticed, Thursday and Saturday they're not just so much one's the training, one's workshop. You're going to get a little bit of both times, right? Now we need to start focusing on the specifics of rank advancement, developing the stories, and it all comes down to activities. What are we doing? I want to make sure that everybody's on board right now. I got a call at, it was about 5:30. I'm not going to share with you the content of the call, but I will tell you that it is one of the most significant things I've heard about in our company. The industry is going to start hearing that there is a migration to Zija. Okay. Wonder if I can share any more than that. What I heard this morning, not only did it surprise me, it started me thinking, this isn't about having some people or even some, previous MLM leaders join us. This is about having the industry recognize that you can either, compete with us or just join us. Not individuals, the industry. We really, really have a chance right now to set into motion that company that people will. I mean, there isn't anybody out there that doesn't know the name Amway, right? And if they don't know the name Amway, what rock have they been living underneath for the last 40 years, right? I mean, seriously. We got a chance to be that company. So anyway, tell me what's going on, folks. We need to be focusing on, new person enrollment. Questions about the second wave going on right now. Anything about that? Okay, I see a raised hand. Okay, I got heading out. Understand, Rory, Tammy. I remember you saying that. Thank you. I overthink technique. Working on change that. Okay, let me do this one. Let's see. Let me clarify concepts versus techniques. Okay, concepts are what I teach because they are universal. Techniques, don't get me wrong, I use techniques, okay, all the time, but I don't teach techniques. Some people are, most of the diamonds in the Diamond Club are better than me, okay? I'm not that great a closer. I'll accept the fact that I'm a fair trainer, okay? But that's just because I've done it so long and I've learned from people that are consummate communicators. They are at the highest level. I have studied Jim Rohn. I've studied Les Brown. I've studied, Larry Thompson. I've studied Tony Robbins. I mean, I wish I had $1 for every hour that I've invested in listening to those people. Incidentally, just so that you don't get too off track here, after hours from 11 to 7, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Or back in the days when you couldn't talk in your car, then I was listening to that kind of stuff. Now I don't even do that because you can talk in your car, right? Sure, I use techniques. The problem with that is that the techniques that I use can't be duplicated by other people. So I'm not going to teach that. if you get grounded in the foundational, understanding that anything works if you do enough of it, let's help our new people try and do things more efficiently and give them opportunities to grow into, to mature into better communicators, understanding, the psychology of communication, the elements. I mean, I bought a course from, is it Brian Tracy or Dennis Waitley? I forget, one or the other, the psychology of selling. And I learned one phrase from that. Okay, one phrase. And that phrase has made me money, so much money, it's incredible. Okay, it's huge. I'm getting my Trump imitation down, right? But
So what is
we're
it?
not going to talk politics, all right? Some of you put down your guns. We're not talking politics. Well, if you got guns, I know what your politics are. Okay, there, I'm going again. Sorry, I was up at 4:30. Did I say I was up at 4:30? That one phrase, and I'll share it with you, okay? When you use this when you have somebody questioning whether or not this is the right decision to take, and they'll bring an objection to you, and the response is, all of you writing it down because it's a technique. Boy, Fred's made a fortune. I got to learn how to do this. This is the opposite of what I want to teach you, but I'll share it with you anyway. So somebody says, well, I don't know if I could do that. I'm not so sure that, that's a lot, whatever, right? Whatever the objection is. Mary, that's a really good question. Now, why is it a good question when it's, that won't work? That's not a question, that's a statement or an objection, okay? I can't respond to somebody's objection. If somebody is saying, well, I believe da-da-da-da, I cannot counter that, okay? I was sharing with you, this is how you respond on the product, okay? People can question your knowledge on the product, question your knowledge of what it takes to become a successful multi-level company, whatever. But what they cannot question is your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's sugar in this, sugar's bad for you. I don't know about that, but I can tell you, I've been using the product. This is what happened to me. I got my cousin on the product. He's a diabetic, type 1 diabetic, and he uses the product, and his doctor said it was good. And actually, although we don't claim to cure, mitigate to, disease, his doctor said his insulin, since he's been using Zejus, sugar levels are a lot more stable, and he's actually reduced the amount of insulin he takes. Now, obviously, we don't cure anything. Okay, sugar is bad. I don't know about that. How can you counter my experience? And so it's turning reverse. Somebody else saying, well, multi-level doesn't work. I don't think you should have to invest, this amount of money. I don't think that many people will want to, whatever the objection is, okay? Mary Lou, that is an excellent question. And several of my top income earners asked me that question when they first started. And let me tell you what they found out. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, is that a technique, folks? Absolutely. Will I teach that in an open forum? Absolutely not. Because every single person going to do exactly what you guys are doing is you're going to write it down. And now they think this is the secret. And what the secret is get in, get trained, get going. Put together a list, invite, use a tool, put an upline on the phone. That can be duplicated by the masses. And 80% of the people will join us and stay with us for $1,000 a month, $250 a week. And what if you had 10,000 people making $1,000 a month in your organization.
Woohoo!
You make more money than me. And that's a lot of money. Okay? We're not going after the superstars. And, you know, I had a couple contact me here. I reached out to them. Incidentally, I shared the 7-minute video from Cancun. I just did a quick little Facebook message. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Hope you all doing well. Check out my 7-minute video. I could use your help.
Mm.
Now, these are old friends of mine. I mean, the small circle of multi-level people that I actually maintained a relationship with after leaving multi-level. And they call me back. They're interested. These people are rock stars. I mean, they made more money than I did in the last company. You never know what's going on in somebody's situation, right? So, anyway, I was asking questions, you know, any questions of me? How's everybody doing with the second wave promotion? Are you on track with that? Are you feeling good about the languaging, the positioning, the things that you're supposed to be doing?
Hey, Fred, I have a question on that.
Okay.
Just in case anybody asks. The promo codes that you're going to get, the people who are already in ZJ and they get the Surf's Up pack, we only have 28 days to use those, right?
To the best of my knowledge, but let me tell you something, okay? I'm going to recommend you do what I'm doing. Now, I've been asked to kind of review some of the documentation, give feedback before it goes public and that sort of thing. So I may or may not have time to do that, okay? I don't need to be that guy. Let David take his time to do it. Let Chris take his time to do it. Let corporate take his time to do it. I only got time to do what I know what to do, which is to build business. And so here's my, you know, thank you for the question. But what I'm going to suggest you do is don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
What I'm doing right now and is what I'm going to suggest you do. I'm getting my next list. Where's my book? It's buried on my desk. I'm putting my next list together. I'm calling people up. Now, I've got a little bit of leverage here. All right. What I'm doing is I'm sending them the 7-minute video from Cancun. And I'm saying, thought about you, don't know where you're at. Take a look at my 7-minute video. I'd like to speak with you. One of my phrases is, I could use your help.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm getting my script down. Again, I don't want to do techniques, but I'll share with you what I'm doing. I send out that thing, you know, take a look. I need your I need your help. I'll give you a call. And I call them up. And this is kind of the posture. I know you guys are already set. You know, I know you're doing well. But you know what? There's a lot of people that aren't doing well, and I need some help. You may know of some people that need to hear about this opportunity because, you know, and especially for people that have an understanding of my background. You know, I caught a wave with this company when we went from this to this, and I set up the rest of my life. The wave from 100 million to the 500 million is where the intergenerational wealth is created. I know you guys are doing fine. You know, you're retired or you got your careers or you're really busy, but you may know some people that need to hear about this, and I could use your help. So far, the few people that I've actually done that with, because as you guys know, I don't have a lot of time to do much recruiting. I haven't gotten any negative reaction from anybody.
Mm.
I've gotten positive reactions to, well, I'd like to learn a little bit more. What can you share with me? I'm sending them to my YouTube channel so they can see the presentation. Now, you guys have a little bit more leverage than me. You can send them to, you know, a video presentation, you know, one of the, you know, the Tuesday night deals. Say, take some time, you know, couple of you got even more leverage. Cindy, send them the one that you spoke on. Amy, send them the one you spoke on, right? And, you know, take a look at what we're doing. The guy you're going to see there, working with him every day. I'm so excited. Guy's made a fortune, and he's working with me. All right? Berdini, you got a little leverage there too. So, right now, don't worry about the details. Here's my answer to all the questions. And Cindy, you are not the only person that has asked me those kinds of questions. All right? Pretend like you don't know anything other than what you've been hearing. Something's about to happen. You got to take a look, you know, and for some of you, that's a way to get the prospect to get involved, right? Now they're, you know, something's happening, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Well, what do you got? Share, you know, now you've done an invitation. Get a little video presentation somewhere, put them on the phone with an upline. Maybe they'll get in. You know, this whole concept of, you know, virtually zero resistance to get people in, that's for then. How about getting people in right now? Don't worry about the details. Here's the absolute worst thing that can happen is that you mess it up, right? Somebody waited 29 days. Oh, well, I mean, and you know, don't worry about that, okay? This is the challenge in having so much of this information already out there. People are thinking, you know, 3-4 steps down the road when they need to be thinking about today, who am I talking to today? Something's about to happen. I don't want you to miss out on it. I don't know what your timing's like. Are you open to taking a look? Invitation, presentation, validation. Walk them through the steps. Focus on what we do. Just focus on what we do. Everything else will come down the pike in due time. The biggest, I got to tell you, the most important thing about what's happening right now is activity. It's creating activity. Activity is the only thing that makes any difference. Doesn't make any difference whether you reviewed Thursday night's training or whether you reviewed today's training a second time or you went through your notes or you listened to you know, whatever. Okay, the only thing that makes any difference is, did you talk to a new person today about your product? Did you talk to a new person today about your opportunity? And did you help your new distributor do the same? That's the only thing that matters. Okay, and Cindy, you'll be happy to hear there are people that way outrank you that should know way better than this, that I haven't been nearly as kind to. Okay, but thank you. I'm not gonna, normally I say, did I answer your question? Okay, you guys have been around long enough that you hear me say that, because I know I hear the question, my brain disseminates information, but I have to go back and check to make sure I was speaking to the listening of my audience. But I'll go ahead and give you a courtesy one. Cindy, did I answer your question?
You gave me what I needed to hear.
That is my greatest hope. Thank you, my dear. What else, folks? We got a couple of minutes.
I don't see, I'm using my tablet for the first time and I don't see a place to touch to raise my hand. So I'm just going to interrupt, if that's okay. I had mentioned this to you the other day. So especially people that have been in with our list, you know, pulling up and see in our downlines in the past who, you know, where they are ranking, you know, those people would be some good ones to just, you know, Fred's been working with me. This is what about to happen, and kind of use that as, you know, instead of it coming from you because it's yours. But we could, that was a good thing you said, that, you know, you're working with me and I don't want you to miss out on this. Watch this, I'll give you a call.
Mhm.
So that would be an appropriate activity.
Absolutely. Now,
Okay.
this doesn't apply to some of you, okay? Heather's is real new. Danielle's real new. They don't have a lot of longevity with me, but several of you been around for a while. You need to do what I'm doing, okay? Not everybody. Let's face it, not everybody you brought into the business is who you're looking to work with. Don't automatically go and create problems for yourself, going back to somebody who has so little interest in the four selves, okay? Interest in being responsible for themselves, determining their future, motivating themselves, functioning, okay? One of the things that I share with people, you can pretty much judge the future from the past. These were the things I thought about when I was looking at Zija. You can pretty much judge the future from the past. It's a concept. Not all the time. People do change, but not a lot and not often. Okay? The fellow that borrowed money from you, 5 years ago that's never paid you back, and then 3 years ago he borrowed money from you, never paid you back. I got to tell you, there's a better than even chance if you loan him money today, you ain't going to get your money. Okay? Not always, but in general, you can tend to judge the future from the past. Ken Brailsford built 2 companies that are still in business. You can tend to judge the future from the past. We got a company right now that I don't know if they're going to survive the negative press they've been getting. Integrity issue at the ownership level. That killed the last company he started. What makes you think that has changed, right? Vima went down the tubes because of the FTC. Okay, BK's previous company got shut down by the FTC. You can judge the future from the past most of the time in general, okay? Here's another principle. You want to judge a man's motivation? Follow the money. Okay, real simple. Follow the money. Unlike most of the multi-level companies out there that have started in the last several years, Ken Brailsford invested several $1 million of his own money before he even could sell 1 dime of Zija. The reason there's so many multi-level companies start and stop so quickly, you can start a multi-level business for less than $1 million. And you can get a 100% return on your investment in 30 days. Takes about $1 million to start a McDonald's franchise. And it's typically about a 10-year return on investment. Why are there so many multi-level companies? It's a freaking cash cow. You can lease some office space, rent a computer program, get a few, buy a couple of MLM gurus to come over, get some company to put together a product for you, private label it, and you're in business. And you can be out of business as fast as you want. And it ain't that big a deal to make to turn $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in sales in pre-launch. Okay, you can judge a man's motivation by the money. As long as we're talking about stuff here, let me share with you the two of the most important things I've ever learned in life. My son taught me when he was 5. Okay, I would encourage you to write this down. First thing I learned from my 5-year-old. There is more than one right way to do a thing.
That's right.
Because I tend to be the guy that this is how it's done. And that's just part of being a special child. It's like, I know where my keys are right now because they're in the very same place every single time. Because if they're not, I'll lose them. Okay? I know which pocket my keys are in. I know which pocket my license and money clip with money is. If I put my keys in the wrong pocket, I will freak out because I think I've lost them, even though they're just in a different pocket. Okay, so it is in my nature. This is how it's done. What my 5-year-old taught me is that there is more than one right way to do a thing. The second lesson I learned from my son, and trust me, these lessons have been very, very valuable over the last, well, he was about 5 when I had this epiphany, and he's going to be 37 this year. Some of you trying to do the math. Yes, I really am 106 years old. The second thing he taught me was that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. And so for some of you, that second lesson is probably very important. Okay, and I'm not going to, name you, Cindy. I'm not going to, mention anybody in particular, Joni. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. I'm right about that time I need to leave, folks. We really didn't get much questions answered. We actually got a whole lot more of me just sharing stuff. I'll try to change that around. All right. Your focus now is, number one, your activity level. Okay. Are you doing the doing part? Because if you are, you'll get results. If you're doing the activities, that comes before the productivity. But the activity is personal accountability for your DMO, for your daily method of operation. Who did you talk to today about the product? Who did you talk to today about the opportunity? What distributor in your organization did you help to do the same? Okay, we need to focus on rank advancements. Rank advancements equals stories. So for those of you that are new, we're looking at your rank advancement, which is your activities. And the newer people here, Kevin, Heather, Danielle, you've got active engaged upline that are here to help support you with that. Don't worry about where a person starts, especially right now. Worry about they start. Get them in. So we got to focus on rank advancements, and we're going to start accelerating this pace here. We're going to kind of take a little bit of a transition in our scope over the second period, because we should have people in this first period, and we need to get them engaged. But we want to continue that process. In a way, it's kind of good. I wish we would have had one more period before the the Zija Nation call on Tuesday. It would have been nice to have one more period of preparation, but that's okay. Who's going to say, it's the second coming. You ain't going to tell the Lord, listen, could you give me another week? Right? Not going to do that, are you? Hopefully you guys got that okay. One of the things that we're promoting, or that's being promoted to people like myself, and I'm going to encourage you guys to do the same thing. I will send out in an email here probably Sunday. It'll take me till tomorrow to get this, to bring it to kind of a organizational wide update for period 112. I'll lay out what the schedule of events are. My webinars, my Super Saturday, that sort of thing. I will use my conference bridge. Okay, I've got a conference bridge that'll accommodate, I believe it's 1,000 people. I'm going to use my conference bridge for Tuesday night. The leadership is really encouraging us, because we know we're going to blow out that line. Okay, so they're really encouraging us to not have everybody call into that line. So what I am going to do is I'm going to hook up my line way early, so I know that I've got a line. And by Sunday, I'll have that email out. Folks, if you don't, and I'm not trying to promote myself here. I'm trying to make things easier for you. I'm investing a lot of money right now in my social media presence and that sort of thing. Take advantage of it. Why not, right? Why not? go get your people to go to my website and sign up for my newsletter. It's just one more communication to keep them around the fire. Get them to go to my YouTube channel. Okay, not the one for you guys, the official Fred Holmes YouTube channel. Get them to subscribe. If they subscribe, that means they sign up for a YouTube account, right? So they can have their favorite channels. If they subscribe, when I post the training webinar, the Super Saturday webinar, whatever, they get an email. I get emails when it says Fred Holmes just posted a new video. Okay, you never know when that person that got in didn't get real active. You never know what little thing is going to pop up in their feed and get their attention and cause them to call you back. Okay, Facebook, same kind of thing. Get them to like me and friend me, right? Get them plugged in. So anyway, I'll send that out. You all are welcome to use that line. I will call in early, and then just you can have your people call in. That way you've got a direct line in. All right, I'm gonna run. Is everybody good for now? Have an awesome rest of your week, folks. I'll be around.
Thanks, Fred. It was a great information.
All right. And
Thank you,
Steve
Fred.
Parker, next time, dude, get my attention. You were the first person to say, did you record? Get my attention. Okay?
Okay. We'll
All
do
right.
it.
See you guys.
Fred.
Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.